race. And it's an Indian story that tells us about how Raccoon became how he is today. And so you're going to see some actors, some animals, and you're also going to hear some songs that we've added to the story. And we're going to start with a song called Shoida. And Shoida is a word that means raccoon in the Choctaw Indian language. So here's Shoida. Actors, stand up and be ready. Long ago, Raccoon does not look the way he does today.
Back then, Aspan the raccoon had very long legs and was a fast runner. In fact, he was the fastest of all the animals. Because of this, he liked nothing better than to challenge the other animals to a race. With his long legs, he would always win.
He would race bear. Zip, zip, he would beat bear. He would race fox. Zip, zip, he would beat fox. He would race rabbit. Zip, zip, he would beat rabbit.
Aspan the raccoon also liked to taunt the other animals. While racing, he would turn his head back to look at his competitor, and he would sing,
Hee, 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 look at me. I am Aspen, I am fast. Look at you, ho, ho, ho. You are very, very slow.
As you might imagine, this didn't please us other animals. After a while, none of us would accept Aspan's challenges.
In fact, we even refused to speak to him because he was always trying to taunt us into racing again. He can go away. When you taunt us, we won't play. It doesn't matter who loses or wins. Nah, nah, boo, boo, we won't play with you.
This didn't stop him. He began to play tricks on other animals. He would hide in a tree, and when we walked by, he would jump down and frighten us.
Shoy da 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 shoy da 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 shoy da 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 shoy da da shoy da 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 shoy da 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 shoy da
Because Aspen was so fast, no one could ever catch him.
Look at me. I am Aspen. I am fast. Look at you. Ho, ho, ho. You are very, very slow.
One day, Aspen noticed someone sitting on top of the hill. Perhaps I could play on the trick on that one. Perhaps I could challenge him to a race. He quickly ran to the top of the hill. But when he got there, he discovered that it was not an animal at all. It was a big rock. This did not stop Aspen. He loved to talk, especially about himself.
Hello, grandfather. Are you a fast runner? I am Aspen, fast as all the animals.
To Aspen's surprise, Big Rock spoke back.
I don't want to travel. I just sit here. I have been here for a long, long time.
Aspan said, "You should try it, grandfather." And Big Rock said,
I have been here for a long, long time. That is how it will always be. I don't want to travel, so leave me alone. Maybe not, grandfather. I'll help you.
Then Aspan got behind Big Rock and began to push and push. And as he did so, the rock began to wobble back and forth. Aspan pushed harder and harder. The rock fell over on its side and began to roll. It rolled down that hill.
rolled down that hill, Aspen quickly caught up speed and asked,
How do you like it, Grandfather?
and Big Rock answered, well, as that rock rolled down that hill and naturally began to pick up speed, Aspen thought,
Yippee, this rock is trying to challenge me to a race. I'll show it a thing or two. Running as fast as he could, Aspen the raccoon flew past the rock that was rolling down the hill. Kaboom! Kaboom! He began to zigzag in front of Big Rock while turning around and taunting. Hee hee hee, look at me. I am Aspen, I am fast. Look at you, ho ho ho. You are very, very slow. But Aspen turned his head to taunt that rock one too many. Not looking where he was going, he tripped and fell on the ground right in front of Big Rock. Since the rock had never been traveling before, it didn't know how to stop. Instead, it went kaboom, kaboom,
splash.
kaboom, boom, diddy, diddy, boom, splat.
On and on the rock traveled, enjoying itself quite a bit, and there lay Aspen the raccoon, rolled so flat and wide by the rock that he could not move his arms or legs or even his head. All he could move were his lips.
But no one seemed to hear Aspen's cry for help. Or maybe, remembering all the tricks he had played, they did hear and pretended not to notice. Bears skipped by but and stopped to help. Fox taunted by but didn't stop to help. Rabbit kabonk hopped right over him. Appeared not even to notice, didn't stop to help. One by one, just about every animal in the forest passed Aspen by. Aspen began to think he would be lying there forever. Then, toward the end of the day, two of the smallest creatures walked by, two of the ants. Walking right on top of him, he looked down at Aspen's flattened out face and asked,
How can I help you? Everyone says that we ants are good for nothing.
Where's your audience?
How
Why don't you
can I
guys go on the other side? Say it again.
How can I help you? Everyone says that we ants are good for nothing. We are ants. We are small. No respect for us at all. We work hard and we are true. We could be a friend to you.
Aspen had hoped for someone a little bigger than an ant, but he looked up and said,
Oh. Oh, I think your ants are wonderful. Please go get all your brothers and sisters and cousins and put me back in the cave. If you do, I promise I'll always be your friend.
Now, it's not easy being an ant, Other creatures always kicking you around, not even noticing you.
A friend as big as us, and maybe everybody will show us a little more respect.
The other ant said,
I will help, but remember your promise.
Asban said,
Yeah. Just get back here with the others. We are ants. We are small. No respect for us at all. We work hard and we are true. We could be a friend too.
and so the ants went back to their village.
Hear me. Aspen the greatest promise he will always be our friend if we help pull back in the shade.
The ants agreed it would be good to have a friend as big as Asban, and so before long, all of the ants, thousands of them, gathered around the raccoon and began to do something they do very well, work together.
We are ants. We are small. No respect for us at all. We are hard and we are true. We could be a friend to you.
Those ants pulled and pushed and pulled and pushed. They began putting Aspen back into shape. Soon Aspen the raccoon could move. He stood up, and as he did so, he saw that many of the ants were still clinging to his body. Instead of being grateful for what they had done, he just brushed them off and said,
Horrible little ants!
He began to walk away without even saying thank you.
However, after only a few steps, he noticed something. His legs were very short. His body was still quite wide. He had brushed those ants off before they finished stretching him out.
But, having broken his promise, he knew that the ants would never agree to finish the job. Instead, Raccoon had to learn to accept being the short, squatty animal he is to this day. And he is certainly not a fast runner.
Soy